Looks like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is still very popular even to this day. And that's something that come as a surprise to a lot of people considering the fact that the game came out in 2017 and we're still getting like DLC and support for Xenoverse 2 to this day. And the thing is, like a lot of people don't know this, but Xenoverse 2 actually has had I think more or just as much success as Fighters. And Dragon Ball Fighters came out back in 2018, and it was seen as one of the better arcade games of the teens decade. And I think the reason why Dragon Ball Fighters is such a big deal is because it came out, I think, right after Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite came out back in 2017, and that game was a letdown. And pretty much, Fighters was like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but better in some aspects. And Xenoverse 2 was basically the sequel to Xenoverse 1, which came out in 2015. And there were definitely improvements made to that particular game in terms of graphics and gameplay and storytelling and all that other stuff. And like we eventually had gotten like to see like DLC for Xenoverse 2 over time. The latest DLC pack that we got came out this past year, I believe. It was the Future Saga Chapter 1, and that was a pack that featured multiple different things like parallel quests, extra missions, illustrations, super souls, all that stuff. And um and it was something that added to the overall like replay value and the appeal of a game that's been around for like 7 or 8 years now. And I've been on Reddit, and apparently they've been saying that the Future Saga Chapter One was supposed to be like the prelude to the real story of um, of the Future Saga, which is something we're probably going to get in. We're going to get in Chapter Two, and we got a brief trailer for the Future Saga Chapter 2 not too long ago. And it featured characters like Beerus and Belmont, and it was something that got a lot of people talking for the most part. And and a lot of people, find it very difficult to believe that, this is still a thing and that the Xenoverse 2 is something that's still getting content like to this day. And the reason people think it's a big deal is because Sparking Zero has yet to come out, and a lot of people feel like Sparking Zero is going to end up being like the best fighting game of 2024 because let's be real, Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero doesn't have too much competition this year in relation to high profile fighting games or anything like that. We've also had a couple of fighting games within the DBZ series that's come out since Xenoverse 2. We've had Fighters, we've had DBZ Kakarot, which was more of an RPG, and now we got like Sparking Zero that's about to come out. And Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is a game that's probably it's probably like the most like successful Dragon Ball Z game that we have ever seen. A lot of people wouldn't say it's above the Tekaishi or the Budokai Tekaishi stuff from the 2000s because even though Xenoverse 2 has probably had more commercial success than the Tekaishi stuff, um, a lot of people feel like the Tekaishi games had higher replay values and were more creative, and they still hold up well to this day. But everybody has their own respective opinion about Dragon Ball Z and the history of the games and all that stuff. But yeah, Xenoverse 2 is getting more DLC, and the trailer that we got was brief. It was about I'd say it was about like a minute and like 40 seconds or something like that. I believe Jiren was in the teaser trailer. I believe Super Saiyan God Goku was in the trailer. It looked very intriguing, and like for those who don't have a Xenoverse 2, you can get it for like the PS5, the PS4, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, just about every video game platform you can find. And I do feel that Xenoverse 2 being on just about every platform is one of the reasons why um, it sold as much as it did, and I feel like, Bandai Namco is going to do whatever they can to try and milk as much as they can out of Xenoverse 2. And it's quite possible that they might end up doing the same thing with Sparking Zero a little bit later down the line.